says 2021 is your year to pass the driving test. So if you're new to driving and you're thinking, right, I need to kind of get some lessons organised, first thing you want to do is get yourself a provisional driving licence for the UK, and then you need to contact a driving instructor. Now, if you don't know a driving instructor in the area, speak to your friends who recently passed in the last year, because they'll tell you if they've got a good instructor, and if they have, meet up for a lesson, contact them. And don't commit yourself to 10 hours straight away. It's quite important, because if you don't get on with them, you're going to have to go through the rigmarole of I want to move driving instructors, and they want to know why and all this sort of stuff, and you got to get a refund. So 2 hours to start with, and after 2 hours you'll know whether you're happy with that driving instructor, whether it be a man or a woman. If you are, then by all means get yourself 10 hours and maybe get a discount. The driving lesson prices in the UK averaging £29–30 an hour, I reckon. So what you got to say is have a look round. You know, people go, oh, I'm going to get the cheapest going. I'm not saying that's a bad thing to do, but ask yourself, is it cheap for a reason? Are they all cheap in the area? All right, and if just say if the average price of driving lessons in your area is, like I said, then £29 an hour, and you've got Joe Bloggs in the corner there doing it for £15 an hour, then you really want to ask why. Are they doing it for, is it a promotion, or is it permanently £15 an hour, or is it £15 an hour for a reason? Maybe they're a trainee. I don't know the answer to that question. You need to ask that question. Why are you £10 an hour cheaper than the guy next door? Get a good answer off them. It might be that they just passed the driving as approved driving instructor, and they want to build the books up, so they put a promotion on and they try to get people in which case, fantastic, you've got yourself a bargain. But do look round, do inquire, and I say after you've had 2 hours, you'll know whether you get on with that person next to you. And if you do, ask them to get a discount for 10 hours, see if you can get some money off. The average number of hours in the UK, quite important, because people go in there with rose tinted glasses thinking, oh yeah, my mate passed in 10 hours because he told me. He's probably talking a lot of, you know what, but most people pass in, well, the average is 48 hours, by the way. So if you think about it, most people pass averaging 48 hours. That's plus 20 hours with your mum or dad. Okay, but you are going to get people who, you know, I passed in 15 hours, 20 hours, right? Maybe that's with the driving instructor, but I bet they had about 100 hours with the mum or dad, if that's the case. So to give you a realistic idea, say 48 hours you want to put aside, and if you pass in less than that, fantastic. But if you get to 48 hours, you can't be far off at that point. But not everyone passes at 48 hours. Some take a lot longer. So it's a bit like how long is a piece of string, and it all depends on you and how much progress you want to make. So what you got to say is, if you're paying for your lessons, make them count. So at the end of the lesson, sit yourself down and write down how the lesson's gone, what was good, and what bits you want to improve on. And I'm sure your driving instructor's already got a marking sheet, you know, because that's what you want to say, get a marking sheet, and he'll have or she'll have an idea what needs to improve on the next lesson. So just say, for instance, you're in the first few hours and you get stalling, then it's probably going to be your next lesson is going to be the first 15 minutes, maybe longer. We're going to work on clutch control. So you come up with a little list yourself, and then when you come into the lesson, have a little list here and say, right, okay, then instructors giving all the nice to see you, all that sort of stuff. What we're going to do today? Well, last lesson I kept stalling. Let me work on clutch control. Okay, fantastic. At that point, you've already set yourself a goal straight away, and the instructor might say to you, well, that's good, we'll do that, and if that's going fine, we'll work on this that we started also. So you've got yourself 2 goals straight away, and at the end of the lesson, repeat it again. Write down what was good, write down what you want to improve on. So every time you come in that lesson, you've got a goal to go for, and that will make progress over the 10, 20, 30, 40 hours of lessons that you're having. Don't go into that lesson thinking, right, okay, I've not even thought about what I'm doing from last week, because what's going to happen is it's going to take you longer to get to the point where you was in last lesson. Okay? Now, other thing also is, just say, for instance, you contact a driving instructor and they say to you, I can start you, but it's going to be 6-8 weeks away, because I'm full, but I've got people taking tests in 6 weeks, and I've got 4 people taking tests. There's a good chance 2 of them are going to pass, 2 might fail. You know, it all depends, because the pass rate in the UK is about 50% average. So you've got to say to yourself, right, I don't want to do nothing for them that time while I'm waiting, so theory test. Let's start pulling out that highway code. Let's start reading books on it. Let's start watching the app. Download an app. There's a DVSA app you can get. Pretty good it is. Download that. I'll put a link below for different apps if you want to look at them. And start doing some work on the theory test stuff. Because if you get in your car, yeah, with the driving instructor and you book 2 hours a week, by the time 2 months has gone, you'd probably be nearly halfway, maybe a quarter, maybe up to halfway. It all depends on if you're having 2 hours a week. So if you're having 2 hours, that's 16 hours. You know, that's a quarter of the way, isn't it? Easy. So if you're having lessons every week, 2 hours a week, get that theory done. Don't hang around with it, because the amount of people I speak to, so I say to them, start your theory when you want to. Don't hang around, and then they'll get to 20 hours down. I say, have you done your theory yet? Oh, I've not even started yet. And then what they've got to do then is cut the hours down then, because they're worried they're going to use too many hours. And I say to them, well, at this rate, you're going to be ready for your test, you're not pass your theory. So get your theory test done, all right? Don't leave it till last minute, because if you fail that theory test, it's going to knock on with your driving test, isn't it? Okay? So get your theory test sorted, and then it's out of the way then, isn't it? You can work on then straight away improving your lessons and leading up to your driving test. Now, that driving test, ooh, the amount of people who worry about driving tests is unreal. You've got to say to yourself, I need to know what I'm doing. I need to know all 4 manoeuvres. I need to know how to drive the car independently. Right? I need to be confident with the car. I can control it. You know, if my instructor's grabbing the wheel while I'm in a driving lesson a month before my driving test, I should be saying to myself, oh, really? I should be putting that test off now. And I won't be surprised if my instructor says to you, well, actually, at the moment, we're not there, but if we don't improve in the next few weeks, we'll have to put it back a month or 2 months. So it's in your interest to get yourself ready for that test, to have some mock driving tests to prove to yourself and your instructor that you can drive for 40 minutes independently. And what you should be saying before your mock test anyway is, when you get in that car a month before your driving test, you should be able to drive from A to B without that instructor helping you. I mean, obviously they're going to say to you, we're going to go left or right at the roundabout, we're going to turn right, third exit, whatever they're going to tell you to direct you, you know, then the rest of it you should be able to do on your own. And if you're doing independent driving, the sat-nav, you should be able to follow a sat-nav a month before your driving test, or you should be able to follow road signs. So remember, don't kind of put rose-tinted glasses on. You've got to be hard to yourself. You've got to say to yourself, well, actually, I need to kind of be critical of my own driving, because if I don't, I'm going to go into that driving test and I'm going to embarrass myself. And last thing I want to do is that's examiner thinking, what have we got here? What have we got here? That kind of thing. So be prepared. Be ready for that driving test, okay? And if you think about it, if you have 2 hours a week from, say, start of February, you'll be passed way before the end of summer, won't you? Or even before summer. Depends how quickly you can make progress, okay? Good luck, and remember, 2021 is